All right, let's jump right in. When I say human resource management, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For a lot of us, it's probably paperwork, company policies, maybe the office you go to on your first day and your last day. But it is so much more than that. It's really the engine that drives an employee's entire journey with a company, from the second a job is just an idea, all the way to the day someone retires. And today, we're going to map out that entire journey. But first, let me ask you a question. Just think about it for a second. Any company, any team, any organization you can imagine. What is its single most important resource? Is it the product, the money in the bank, the fancy tech? It's the people. It's that simple, right? But it's also incredibly profound. At the end of the day, anything a company accomplishes, it accomplishes through its people. And the entire field of human resource management is built on this one single truth. Managing this crucial, living, breathing resource, well, that's the whole point of everything we're about to talk about. So here's how we're going to tackle this. We're going to follow the life cycle of an employee from start to finish. First, we'll nail down what human resources actually is in the modern world. Then, we'll see how a job is even created in the first place, how the right person gets found for it, how they're helped to grow and succeed, and finally, we'll look at the whole shebang, the employee's full journey. Okay, so let's start with the basics. What in the world is human resources really? Because this is a field that has completely transformed itself, It's gone from being about administrative tasks to being a core part of any company's actual strategy. So the official definition talks about it being a whole system of philosophies, policies, and practices. But here's what that really means. HRM is all about trying to find that perfect sweet spot, that ideal fit between a person, the job they're doing, and the organization as a whole. And fit is the magic word here. It's not just about finding somebody who can do the job, it's about finding someone who will thrive, and by thriving, help the whole organization succeed. And this is where you can see the huge evolution. We've moved from what used to be called personnel management to human resource management, and believe me, that's way more than just a name change. Personnel was reactive. It was about solving problems after they happened. It was about paperwork. But modern HRM, it's proactive, it's strategic, it involves everyone, from the top to the bottom. It's the difference between just keeping the record straight and actually helping to steer the entire ship. This timeline just lays it all out, doesn't it? It's kind of wild to think it all started over 100 years ago as a welfare role, making sure people had a canteen to eat in and basic medical care. Then it became about administration, hiring and filing. Then it got more complex, handling things like performance reviews. But the real game changer was in the 80s and 90s. That's when HR stepped up to become a strategic partner, focused on building great teams and empowering people. So where does an employee's journey really start? Well, it's not with sending in a resume. It actually starts with the creation of the job itself. Before a company even thinks about hiring, it has to draw up a blueprint for the role. And it's a very intentional three-step process. Step one is the job analysis. This is the detective work. You ask, what does this person actually do? What are their real-world tasks? So if you're hiring a graphic designer, you look at everything from creating social media posts to meeting with clients. Step two is the job description. That's the written summary of everything you just found. And finally, step three is the job specification. This is your must-have checklist. A degree, 5 years of experience, fluent in this software. That blueprint is absolutely crucial. Okay, so the blueprint is done. The role is perfectly defined. What's next? Well, now the hunt begins. This is the phase we're all probably the most familiar with, finding the right people to bring into the organization. And that all starts with recruitment. Now, listen to the words here, searching for and stimulating people to apply. This isn't a passive thing, it's an active hunt. You're trying to build a deep pool of qualified candidates, essentially creating a talent marketplace that the company can then choose from. So once you have that talent pool, the selection process kicks in. Think of it like a funnel. You start with a ton of applications at the top, then you narrow it down, maybe with a skills test or some kind of exam. Then you get to the interviews where it's not just about what's on paper, but also about personality and if they'll fit with the team. The goal of this whole funnel isn't just to find someone who's qualified, it's to find the absolute perfect match for that role we designed so carefully. But getting the job offer? That's not the end of the line. Not even close. In a way, it's just the starting gun. Modern HRM is all about what happens next, nurturing that person's potential and helping them grow once they're on the inside. And HR has a whole toolkit for this. You've got your standard training, of course, but there are other cool methods, like job rotation, where you might work in different departments to see the bigger picture. Then you have job enlargement and job enrichment. Here's a simple way to think about it. Enlargement is giving you more to do. Enrichment is giving you more control and responsibility over what you do. One makes the job wider, the other makes it deeper. Now, a massive piece of this development puzzle is the performance appraisal. This is the formal system for looking at an employee's work, not just the hard numbers, the quantitative stuff, but also the qualitative side, like how they work with their team. It's supposed to be a structured way to give feedback and help guide someone's growth. And there are different flavors of these appraisals. Here's a great quote that describes a classic and, maybe a little old school method called tell and sell. It says, the manager tells his subordinates how he is doing and endeavors to persuade him to accept what has been decided for him in terms of improvement. You can feel how top-down that is, right? The manager tells, then sells the employee on the plan. And even though a lot of places are trying to make these more of a two-way street, I bet we've all felt a little bit of that tell and sell vibe at some point. And that brings us full circle to the final stage of the employee's journey. This is where you see how HR is really in it for the long haul, managing everything from a person's first paycheck to their very last day at work. I mean, look at this list. HR is involved in all of it. They handle compensation, how you get paid, and how you get rewarded. They're thinking about motivation. They manage the tough stuff like discipline and handling complaints. And they're there at the end of the journey too, managing how people leave the company, whether that's through turnover or hopefully after a long, happy career that ends in retirement. And this last quote just nails it. It really ties it all together. You could boil human resource management down and call it the appointment and dismissal handbook. It's the complete guide. It's the story of an employee's entire life inside a company, from the first page to the very last. So next time you think about your job or your next career move, try to see this whole framework behind it. It's not just a series of random things happening. It's a structured journey guided by these very principles. So I'll leave you with this question. How does seeing this bigger picture, this whole map, change the way you think about your own career journey?
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe for more online business tips.